Hi guys, so this is a Yandere lockness Deku X listener, so I hope you enjoy. And yeah, so let's get going. I don't even know why we live here, in this dark swamp. My parents were very odd people. They were extremely superstitious about the monsters that lurked outside. Just out of sight, they would tell me, and for the longest time I didn't believe them, as they locked me away in my room for days on end. They told me it was for my own good, and the repeatment when they would slide my food into the room. Sorry, I would have still not believed them about their weird monster thing if it weren't for my tiny dipper friend, which is basically a spider, who was the size of a teacup. His name was Shinso. He was my only friend in that dusty old room. He kept me company in the dark. Why do you ask? Why do you think they locked me in here? Yin asked her tiny spider friend. Well, it's not uncommon for monsters way larger than me to gain a taste for human meat. So maybe there's a monster after you? Or they're just some crazy old farts, Shinso said, resting on Yin's shoulder. Soon the two heard frantic talking just on the other side of the door. It was her parents, talking about there was a demon in her room. They didn't want it there anymore and planned to kill him soon. Yin couldn't let that happen, so in the late of the night she picked the lock to her room. Quickly, she and Shinso crept out of the house and made their way to the lake. There on the lake was a tiny boat. Yin rowed further and further out. Shinso spoke up. You didn't have to save me, though I am happy you're away from those crazies, he said, resting on her leg. Yeah, but where do we go now is the next challenge, Yin said as she rowed. Probably best to get out of the swamp. Many monsters bigger than me live in these swamps, Shinso suggested. As they continued, something bumped the boat. Shinso started to tense up a bit as he felt a terrifying presence circle them. Yin, we need to be careful, Shinso shouted. Suddenly the boat flipped, and Shinso's screams were the last thing Yin heard before the world turned black. As Yin slowly opened her eyes, she was met with a pair of green emerald eyes staring down at her. She jumped but quickly settled down when she noticed that she was on the boat. The boy had wild green hair and cute freckles on his cheeks. He sat on the opposite of the large boat, rowing it along the lake. Who are you? Yin asked. My name is Zugu Midoriya, Yin. The boy smiled as he continued to row. Before Yin could ask how he knew her name, something came to her mind. She looked around but couldn't find Shinso. Her heart twisted and ached as she could feel a hole in her heart grow the place her friend occupied. Tears started to run down her cheeks as she curled into a ball. Then she suddenly felt a gentle yet cold hand slide under her chin, making her look up at Izuku. Dear, don't cry. I'll take care of you. Izuku smiled. Even though the smile looked sincere, Yin couldn't help but shiver under his gaze. Not just because she was drenched, but she could just feel something sinister behind those pure-looking eyes. I told you not to go outside without me, Izuku hissed as he towered over Yin. I didn't mean to. I thought I saw my friend outside, Yin whispered. You're trying to run away from me, he sobbed. No, I just wanted to see my friend. You don't need anyone else but me, Izuku shouted. But I just wanted to go outside, Yin said, slowly backing away. No, I'm not letting you go, Izuku shouted as he dragged her off into her room. Wait, Yin cried, but Izuku quickly locked the doors behind her. Yin screamed and thrashed at the door as her memories of her room with her parents flashed in her mind. She slowly started to lose her strength as she slid down the door, pulling her knees to her chest. By the way, there is singing in this, and I will not be singing, I will be talking it. So, yeah. Just outside Izuki's mansion, climbing up to Yin's bare window, was a purple-haired Drider. Sorry, it's Drider. I've been saying Dipper this entire time. Drider quickly called out to her, I feel you, Yin, I feel you. Do they think that walls can hide you? Even now, I'm at your window. I am in the dark beside you, beside sweetly in your hair, Yin. Shinzo sang quietly. Yin turned to the window to see her eight-legged friend alive and well. Tears of joy slowly rolled down her cheeks. She held out a hand, and Shinzo happily crawled into her palm. Yin gently stroked his cheeks with her thumb. Shinzo smiled sweetly as he lanched onto her thumb. And are you beautiful and pale, with your hair colored like hair? I'd want you beautiful and pale, the way I've dreamed you were, Yin. Izuku sang as he stared out the window. And across the lake, he looked past the fog and stared with hatred at the shack his beloved was held in. And your beauty, then what? With hair-colored hair, I think we shall not meet again, my little dove, my sweet Yin. Izuku sang as an idea came to mind. He left the mansion and submerged himself into the lake. I'll steal you, Yin, Shinzo whispered into her in a joyful manner as he led her past a secret passage through the mansion. Is this a goodbye, Joanna? I don't know who the heck that is. You're gone, and you're mine. I'm fine, Yin. I'm fine, Izuku sang as he approached your parents' cabin with a twisted smile. Smoke. Smoke, sign of the devil. Sign of the devil, clew of fire, witch, a witch. Smell that, sir? An evil smell. Every night of the Waspern bell, smoke that comes from the mouth of hell. Convy of fire, convy of fire. Mischief, 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 Yin's mother said in a crazy tone. She watched in horror as Izuku slowly rose from the lake in his monstrous form. She and her lover quickly ran into the cabin in fear. And if I never hear your voice, my my turtle dove, my dear, I shall have reasons to rejoice. The way ahead is clear, Yin, he said as he played his devilish fantasies in his head. Where Yin had her eyes and heart on him, only and always, even if he had her parents' blood and other all over his clothes. I feel you, Yin. Shinzo sang as Yin and him finally made it out of the mansion. Yin quickly bolted to get as far away from this place and Izuku as possible. And in the darkness, where I'm blind, with that I can't forget, it's finally morning in my mind. My little lamb, my pet, Yin, you stay, Yin. The way I've dreamed you are. Oh, look, Yin, a star, Izuku continued. Buried sweetly in Yin's hair, Shanso sang as he rested on Yin's shoulder. There, there, somebody, somebody. Look up there, didn't I tell you? Smell in the air, confit au fire, quick, love. Run and tell, more and more like the witch's spell. There it is, the unholy smell. Tell it to the Bado, the police as well. Tell 'em, help, please. Oh my god, coffee on fire, mischief, mischief. The woman said to her husband as he started casting. Izuku ripped the roof off the cabin and stared down at the terrified couple as runes floated around them. And Though I think of you, I guess, until the day I die, I think I miss you less and less. As every day goes by, Johanna, Zuko said. Johanna gasped in horror that the monster knew her name. And you'd be beautiful and pale, and look too much like Yin, if only angels could purify. We'd be the way we were, Johanna. I feel you, Yin. The two soon made it to the edge of the swamp. Wake up, Johanna. Another bright red day. We learned, Johanna, to say goodbye. Izuku smiled as he quickly chomped down on the couple. I'll steal you. Yin and Shinso hitchhiked on the carts of a train and soon traveled miles away from the swamp. Yin shielded Shinso from the strong winds with her hand. As he snuggled closely to her warm palms, with a tired smile, she moved further into the cart and rested.